Every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Cookie time! Hi everyone! Welcome to the 37th day of my challenge, where a day for cookies has finally come. And today I'm gonna try a chocolate chip cookie recipe, which I'm super excited because I really love cookies, especially making them. I think this is the kind of dessert which I enjoy making the most. So before starting, I have one little thing to say, apart from being overly excited about today's recipe, is about the vegetable shortening that this recipe calls for. I couldn't really find here. I'm not sure if they even use it because all the shops, and trust me, there were a lot of them I went to, didn't have it. So I'm just gonna use butter instead of that. Anyways, it's a really little amount of it. So anyways, I'm gonna use butter. So let's go over the ingredients and let's get started because someone wants some cookies. All we're gonna need is 300 grams of flour, 150 grams of white sugar, 130 grams of brown sugar, 2 eggs, 200 grams of butter, 30 grams of which should be vegetable shortening if you have one, 300 grams of chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and the last one, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, so someone is too excited to contain herself. So what I did already, I've turned on my oven to preheat to 190 degrees because as soon as I'm done with the cookie dough, I want them to go straight to the oven because they have to be born as soon as possible for me now. Okay, so what I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna try and cream butter together with both of the sugars, white and brown. And this is the time where when Laura uses her awesome standing mixer, which only from watching her videos I'm so in love with that it's definitely on top of my wish list. So if my husband's watching, you have an idea for a Christmas present. Okay, so let's work out a bit, shall we? And now in will go the eggs and vanilla extract. Okay, and now I'm gonna add in the flour, salt, baking soda, and baking powder. No, this is cinnamon, and I'm gonna mix it only to combine. It's really crucial not to overmix, as the cookies will turn out tough. Okay, and the very last ingredient, the chocolate chips, which again, I'm gonna mix only to combine. It's really important, and I don't know why I did that, but whatever. It's really important not to overmix. That's really hard. Okay, I think I'm done. Okay, and now cookie forming time. And what I have here is a big ice cream scoop, which I should actually use a small one, but I don't have. So what I'm thinking to do, I have a plate, I will form big ones, and then I'm gonna divide them into 2 parts. And I'm thinking that will be the size of the small ice cream scoop which I need. So my plan is like that, so let's see how it goes. now before forming the half cookies of these cookies, I'm gonna take my baking sheet and I'm gonna line it with some parchment paper because I'm not sure that my sheet is non-stick, so that's the only reason I'm gonna line it. Otherwise, if you're sure that your baking sheet is non-stick, you don't need any parchment paper, you can just put it right on top. Okay, so now I'm gonna do what I mentioned before. I'm gonna take each bowl, divide it into two, and place it on the baking sheet. And one thing though, I should leave around 5 centimeters, which is how much? 5 centimeters, around that much, in between the cookies so that they would have place to expand. Okay, and now into the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, so while my cookies are baking, I'm gonna proceed by dividing these ones into two halves, but I'm not planning to bake them actually. I'm gonna use another great tip I've learned from Laura, which is I'm gonna put them into the freezer and I'm gonna freeze them. So whenever I want fresh, in this case, chocolate chip cookies, I'm gonna just take them out of the freezer and bake them exactly in the same way like I did now. Place on the baking sheet, put it into oven, and I'm gonna have fresh homemade cookies. And I won't have a hassle of making the dough again, even though it's really simple and really quick. But this saves time because I made them now, I made more, I will freeze them, and I'm good with the cookies, alright? And actually I got a handle of this freezing thing quite well, I think. Whenever I cook anything which could be frozen, I usually do. I usually do a bigger portion so that at least a half of it could be frozen for these lazy and busy days, and boy is my oven loud. So anyways, I just thought I would share this tip with you because that really changed the way I cook. So thank you, Laura, again, yet again. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna proceed by dividing the cookies. Okay, so what I did, I've placed them on the plastic plate so that, you know, it wouldn't break if it was a glass one in the freezer. I'm gonna put them like that in the freezer. It's important that they wouldn't touch anywhere. And once they're frozen, I'm gonna transfer them into some simple, you know, bag. And it will be easier to store them in that way. So that's that. Like, you put it like this, freeze them, put in the bag, and whenever you want fresh cookies, you just place them on the baking sheet and bake them. So that's really awesome in my opinion. Okay. Oh, oh, this smells so good. So I'm gonna let them cool for around 10 minutes on the baking sheet now. Okay, and now I'm gonna transfer them to this wire rack to cool completely for around half an hour, Laura says. And let's not kid ourselves, I will try one anyways. And actually, today is the day when I learned that this thing can be used for cooling things. What do you know? Yeah, like I would wait 30 minutes to try the best thing there can be, a warm right of the oven cookie. I already applaud myself for waiting 10 minutes. So, okay. Ooh, this one. Oh, they smell so good, so good. Cookies rock. This is so good. I already know that it's from the brown sugar that the cookie gets this kind of, not the gluiness, this, I don't even know the word for it. It's a bit crunchy, but it's soft, and this what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? When the brown sugar makes the cookie like, you know, gluey and all perfect. Oh, this is such a good recipe for cookies. Okay, so I won't keep you a little longer because I'm sure you want to go and make them like right now, right? Like, look at it. And the home smells. Oh, so if you want, and you should, go and check the original recipe by Laura. And if you want the written one with all the oh, I used this phrase so long ago, I even forgot it. Metric system measurements, that's the one. If you want the recipe with metric system measurements, check the description down below, and I'll see you in a day. Bye!